successful people who are stuck and get them unstuck. And the foundation of this show is I love talking to guests. I learn a lot on my own. The Think community learns, but my guests are always sharing at least one nugget for people to walk away with to get them unstuck, which is in alignment with what I love to do every day when I'm working with clients. You like to get people unstuck when it comes to money and helping the 20 to 40-year-olds really making money matter and making good decisions. You're teaching people really to be smart with money. So here we are, in a post-COVID world, and inflation is high, interest rates are increasing, groceries are more expensive, gas is more expensive. How does the average person be smart with their money when it seems like things are just getting more and more and more expensive?
Well, thanks, Jon, for having me.
Thanks so much.
It's difficult. I mean, I struggle even myself with, making decisions on, is it something that I need or something that I want? And, I've personally have cut back on different things. I got rid of the cable. I hope the cable company don't mind me saying this, but I cut the cord and I'm streaming just to cut down on costs. So being able to go through this period of time is you've got to know where your money is going, and you have to live on a budget. And so if you're living on a budget, it's easy. You just tweak it. You know what's coming in, you know what's going out. But most people don't live on a budget.
Yeah. So let's talk about how to live on a budget today.
Okay.
Because buying things is so easy. And I think we all, get our credit card statements and say, I bought that much stuff on Amazon, or I bought that much stuff, fill in the blank. And so, when you're buying things for $2 and $5 and $3 and $5, it adds up. So how do you really create a budget? How do you create a budget? And how do you really stay on budget? What's the common sense secret?
Tracking.
Uh-huh.
So it's tracking your expenses. I'm working with a gentleman right now who makes really good money, and he can't figure out why he can't get ahead. And so I said, well, give me all your bank statements. And so I was actually talking to him today, and I said, do you realize you spent about $1,000 at this month at Tim Hortons and McDonald's and Taco Bell and all on eating out? $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
Well, you could easily, because he looked at, well, actually I looked at it and showed it to him, but he could easily change that.
Yeah.
I asked him, do you ever eat at home? Can you make your lunch? I mean, we're talking about a doctor. We're not talking about,
Right.
I mean, he makes good money, but he spends $1,000 a month just blowing it, wasting it.
He could get a private chef for $1,000 a month, probably less, and get really good, great quality food. I just interviewed Marcy Scheinbaum, who's a private chef, and her food's amazing, right? And just being smarter. Anyway, so let's talk about tracking, right? Let's talk about tracking. I would think people would say, I don't want to spend all those moments throughout the day writing everything down and tracking. So what do you recommend to make it easy?
So to make it easy, well, it's nice if you could do that for 30 days. I mean, if you could do that for 30 days, that would be great, because you'd really get a good idea of where your money's going. But if you could sit down once a week, especially if you're married and you have a family, it's a great way to get the family together talking about money, and just look and see, well, I spent, whatever it is, $100 this week on coffee, going out and getting coffee. And maybe if I could just cut that back. But it's being aware of where your money's going. Yeah. Whatever you have to do, you have to be aware of where your money's going.
Yeah. I remember when I met my wife, she was from Detroit, but living in Chicago. And then she moved home from Chicago and we moved to Birmingham. And we were in our, mid-20s, and we would walk to Starbucks twice a day and get a latte. And then I realized that we were spending about $1,500 a month on lattes.
Wow, right? That's a lot.
It was part of the habit. So we stopped drinking a lot. We stopped / cut down tremendously. But my point is I don't think I would have never realized it unless I sat down and really calculated it. right? Because
You have to.
$4 here, $4 there, $8 here, $8 there, it really can catch up with you. And so
Correct.
how do you recommend, if you had to point to the top one or two, three things, one, you've talked, create a budget, track everything. What's next, right? You're saying for 30 days, but I think it's so easy to fall backwards, right?
No,
So
you
how do
have
you
to
keep the
make, you have
momentum?
to, it's like anything that you want to change. If you want to change your diet, you have to make it a lifestyle change. And manage your money, it's just a lifestyle. It has to be part of you have to be thinking about it. You can't just go and just use that debit card whenever you want. So it's about making a change, making the commitment to do what's best for you and for your family.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, just think about that $1,500 that you were spending at Starbucks.
Yeah.
What if you would have invested that?
Yeah. Yeah. And just
I
gotten,
mean,
even if I would have gotten a regular cup of coffee and invested half of it. Right. Let's talk
right,
about that. Let's talk about investing and compounding, right? Because
correct.
when we're talking about, what you're saying to me is, hey, let's go back 25 years. If you invested $2 every day, right? There's that old, every story, if in 1920 this and 1930 this, you invested $1 every day, you'd be worth $4 trillion. So talk about kind of small habits that compound over time.
Well, if you think about compounding in general, for money purposes, it's your what you're earning is then earning. So to put that, so if I invested $100 and it made $10, then the next year that I'm growing on that 110, and that continues down the road. There's this chart out there, and I don't have it in front of me, but I always remember this, and I was too late in my life when I seen this, was if you started investing $2,000 at the age of 19 and continued till you were age 26, you'd have $1 million when you were 65, never contributing
Mhm.
after you were 26. I think it was averaging a 10% rate of return. But if you waited until 35 and did $2,000 a year for the rest of your life, I think you get to like 600,000. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't even get close. That's compounding. It's just time in the market, time investing.
I love that. I love that. All right. You ready for a quick speed round, Paula?
Sure.
All right. A book that's had the biggest impact on you.
Oh, actually, it's more of a personal impact than a money impact, but it is, and now I'm drawing blank on it, but it's The Universe Has Your Back, Turning
Mm,
Fear into Faith.
nice. I like that. Best piece of wisdom you've ever received.
Um, I would think it would be affirmations,
Okay. Good.
changing the thought process.
Yeah. Finish this sentence. One thing every person needs to do to get into the right mindset, to have a budget and live off a budget is.
To understand your mindset,
Mm,
understand your money personality.
yeah. Tell everybody who your ideal clients are. I know you work with people of all ages, but you really focus on 20 to 40-year-olds. So tell people who your ideal clients are, at what position in life they are at, and how to connect with you and what you can help them with.
So I'm working with clients who just don't know where their money is going, and they want to get a grasp on it. They want to change their life. They want to be able to maybe stop living paycheck to paycheck, to get a handle on what's going on so they can have financial confidence for the rest of their life. If you do small changes, it'll have a big influence on you for decades to come.
I love it. I love it. And how can people connect with you?
You can just email me at paula@paulachristine.com.
I love it. Think community. We talk a lot about, and we started this talk today talking about, Paula's going to offer a lot, but take one thing off the shelf that can help transform your business and your life and get you unstuck. And you talked about a lot of great nuggets, Paula, but one thing I'm going to extract that resonated with me is managing money is a lifestyle. It's not something you do once a week or once a month. It really is part of your lifestyle. In community, we talk a lot about habits on this show and building really good habits, not only for the short term, but also for the long term. We talk about meditation on this show and the power of meditation and practicing your breath. We take over 8 million breaths a year, and we're spending money almost every day, even though sometimes it doesn't feel like it, because
Oh, no, you are.
with Venmo and PayPal, it kind of feels like everything's free, and until you get your credit card statement. And so be smart with your money. Paula, I appreciate you
Thank
sharing
you.
your wisdom and your thoughts. If Paula can help you, please reach out to her. Paula, any closing thoughts?
No, I just, it's a good time because of all the things that are going on in the world to kind of step back, regroup, visit where you are with your money and going forward. And, it's time to make that change and make it a positive change.
Good. I love it. Thanks, Paula, for being here
Thank
at the
you.
community. Thank you so much. Paula, appreciate all your time and your wisdom. Thanks.
Thank you.